So today we're going to do 3 looks. And we're going to do the look of the color of the year, Mocha Mousse, for 2025. The foundation I'm using today is the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation, 30-hour wear. I'm using shade 220. I'm fully moisturized, so make sure that you put on a moisturizer before you do this. Normally, the best order to do makeup in is to do your eyes first, because then when you get fallout over here from the shadows, you don't have to redo your foundation and your concealer. I don't want to look at my dark circles the whole entire time. You don't want to look at my dark circles the whole entire time. So for the purpose of aesthetics, we're going to do foundation first, then concealer, then I'm going to do the shadows. Today, for the loose powder, I'm using the talc-free Airspun loose powder. This is ancient. This is, I just bought it, but it's been around since 1935. And you know what? Some people's grandmothers have used it. So we're going to use it because it's classic. And I think that it's like the quintessential, easy drugstore translucent powder. And it works. So now we're going to take the concealer. We're using the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage in SC5. I'm going to use a concealer brush, and I'm going to take the peach side, because one side is more yellow, one side is more peach. I'm going to take the peach side, and I'm going to go under my eye. Peach side, under my eye. And we are going to tap it out. So I'm going to take some of the yellow and I'm going to put that red on top and tap it out. Now we're going to take the translucent powder again. I'm going to use a smaller brush, and I'm going to just get some of the powder out into the lid. Using the powder brush, this one right here. I'm using the Duo Fiber Tapered from the set I told you guys about in the last video. So same thing, going to add more powder. Okay. There you go, and I just tap it in, right? Let's do the other side. I'm gonna start with the concealer brush. And you can see the difference already. I mean, this is with the concealer, this is without. So you're going to start here. Okay. I'm going to do more. More there. And I like to go in the inner corners too. Let's get the darkness out. So I'm taking the yellow now, I'm scraping it with the back of my nail, and then I'm just tapping it out on top of the other concealer. So on top of the peach. That way you get a bunch of powder at the top. So today for brows, We're gonna actually do a classic technique that was used back in like the 90s, 80s and 90s, I would say. You use eyeshadow as your eyebrow. So we're gonna take the Born This Way palette, and we're gonna start with, I'm gonna use Cocoa. You can see right here is Cocoa. I'm gonna use Cocoa for my brows because it's like almost like a lighter mahogany brown. So for me, that's gonna work. Others of you might need the darker one, which is the truffle, and others of you might even want to go for the nude because maybe you're blonde and you need like lighter brows. That would be perfect. Those of you that have a much deeper complexion, I would definitely use something darker than the brown in this palette. Okay, so we're gonna start with, I'm gonna use the Stiff Brow Brush, number 208. And I'm going to go into Cocoa. And you'll find that the pigment is really, really good. But you want to tap it on your palette before you put it on your eye because otherwise you'll get fallout. I'm going to mix this with the truffle because you can see that in the beginning, it's a little light. It's like too much red. So I'm actually going to mix it with the truffle for myself. Some of you might just want to use the truffle on its own. And you can see you can get a nice, really nice, smooth line by using this brush. So as you can see, you don't need to buy a brow pencil. A lot of you that are closer to my skin tone or a little darker, if you have a tan, you won't need to buy a brow pencil. You can actually use the colors that are in this palette, especially the truffle. And the good thing about them is they are on the warmer side. So because they're on the warmer side, they're actually gonna turn a little bit, just a touch more gray on darker skin tones. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up around the brow. There is a spot right here that I want to get. Okay. We're going to use the MAC paint pot in Soft Ochre. It's my favorite one. Now, some of you might use Painterly. Painterly is more of like a peachy nude flesh tone. Some of you might want to use Groundwork, I believe it is. That's a little bit of a brown shade. So it's really up to you. If you look at the color choices on MAC's website, you can see the different colors that might be closer to your skin tone, but you do want to go a little lighter because that way it's going to show up the shadows more. So make sure you go like 3 or 4 shades lighter than your skin tone at least. So that way the colors show up really nicely. So with this, I'm going to take my nail and I'm going to scrape with my fingernail just a little bit, and I'm going to put that and close it up. I'm going to put that all over the eyelid up to the brow bone. I'm going to do a thin layer. All right, I'm going to need a little more. Okay, so you can see, you make the color as uniform as possible, okay? And then you're gonna cover it up before we do the other side, and you're gonna take your translucent powder And you're going to go right over it with a translucent powder. Now for the other side, I'm going to take, so I'm going to scrape it, cover it, and go there. And go a little more. To the brow. Okay. There you go. Go all over the eye. All right. So now we are ready for our brightest Mocha Mousse look. I should explain this. Mocha Mousse has yellow, has red, and has gray. That's why I wore some gray in my sweater, because if you take those colors in varying degrees, you can come up with Mocha Mousse. That said, you want the colors to be less warm. You don't want them to be too warm, because if they're too warm, you're not getting that Mocha Mousse color. So I'm actually going to take brush 239, eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take Seashell. Seashell is going to go all over my eyelid. So I'm going to start here and just brush. Up to the crease. So you're going to go on the lid and up to the crease. Same thing on the other side. We're going to take the Seashell color, which is this color right here, and I'm going to go all over the lid. Next color I'm going to use is Swan. Swan right here. It's like an ivory. We're going to put that all the way up to the brow bone. So I'm going to put Swan all the way up to the brow bone. We're going to take the angled shader brush in 275, and we're going to take Nude. Nude is this color right here. That, I believe, is the closest to Mocha Mousse we'll get. So we're going to take that, and we're going to use that as the crease color. So you can see I'm just going right in the crease, a little above it, to lift the hooded area of the eye. For those of us that have hooded eyes or are over 40. And I'm blending it out. I'm blending it up. Okay. Okay. This is a very natural look. Very doe-eyed type of look. Very good for every day. That's one thing I love about Mocha Mousse. It's a very monochromatic color that can be used for casual, and it can go into night too. You can actually liven it up with a bold color, you know what I mean? Like you can wear Mocha Mousse, everything, and then have one color that stands out, like maybe blue eyeliner, like a navy blue eyeliner or something like that, you know? You can do that. You can get away with it with Mocha Mousse. Okay, I'm going into the outer corner of the eye to just give a nice little indentation there. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take a wipe. I have a Pond's wipe here that I was wiping the makeup off with. And I'm going to put the brush on it and go back and forth. And it gets the brush kind of damp. So we're going to go in with a nude with the brush a little damp. And that way you're going to get more color. Better. We're going to take the nude color and I'm going to take a eyeliner brush. Oh my God. Multi-purpose detailing brush. So something like this. And this is what I'm going to use for the under eye shadow. You can use a little bit of water. If you have a little bit of water by you, get the brush a little damp. And then you're going to go into the nude. I'm going to take the nude color again, which we did in the crease, and you're going to go under the eye. Below your waterline. So you're not going to go in the waterline. You're going to go below your waterline. All right, you can see it's a nice flesh tone. Below your waterline. Okay. Same thing on the other side. You would have never thought that this color would actually show up, right? It really does. The pigment is really nice. Okay. Now we're going to take the Maybelline Lasting Drama in brown. Okay? It's a very deep brown. Really nice brown. We don't want to use black because then it'll actually look dirty because we're muddying it with browns on top. So I don't think it's going to look right. I actually did a bunch of swatches on my arm to kind of like test which shadows would look good with what. And the brown looked the best with the brown. So we're going to take that same brush from before, dry it off, go back and forth on a tissue or a paper towel. If you guys want, you can actually use, you don't have to use this one. You can use Dip Down by MAC. That one is a really nice brown as well. We're going to use the brush that comes with the Maybelline Lasting Drama, because it's actually really nice. It's like got a little arch to it, so that way you can really get into the eye. And don't put too much on the brush, just enough. Cover it. And then we're going to go in the waterline. All right, so you can see it's like a soft brown. It works really well. Same thing with the other side. I'm seeing that I need to put more nude on this side. So I'm going to do that real quick. Blend it out. Okay. I'm using the 230S multi-purpose detailing brush. And we're going to go into Truffle. Truffle is the one I used on the brows. I mixed it with cocoa, but this time we're just going to go in with just Truffle. And we're going to go right on top by the lash line. Now see, we're getting fallout. I'm going to have to clean that up after. Okay. All right. Okay, just want to blend, blend, blend. Make sure that the edges are soft. Okay, let's clean up the fallout. We're going to go in with the Glistening Snow, this one right here. We're going to use that on the inner corner of the eye. All right, right in there. Same thing on the other side. Blend it out a little bit. Blend it out a little bit. Now I'm going to go back in with my concealer because we took some of it off earlier. I'm going to just press down right in there. Rub, 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 rub. Okay. So now we are ready for mascara. First, I'm going to do more of the translucent powder, and I'm going to go under my eyes again. All right. Translucent powder under the eye. Okay. I'm using the Shiseido eyelash curler. It's my favorite eyelash curler. It's from way back in the day when I used to work at Sephora, but it works really, really well. It's like $30. Feel it against your hand. It's too hot, you wait. Now we're gonna curl. I'm so excited for this. For mascara, I'm going to use the new Firework Maybelline mascara. I'm very excited to try it. Oh, I love it. I'm already loving it. I used to love the Christian Dior mascara, and this is not bad. I'm going to recurl it with the mascara on. I'm going to see how that goes. I feel like this one I should. I'm using the non-waterproof, just so you know. Whoa. Okay. Alright, I'm combing down and then combing up. Coating every lash, and it's getting longer by the layer. This is a buildable mascara, definitely. Very volumizing, very lengthening. I'm loving it. I'm sure you could see the difference. This is without, this is with. It's a great mascara. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I love it. I'm so excited. Okay. I'm gonna curl it again. I'm going to use a contour brush, angled contour brush number 168. And the blush I'm using is Bespoke, B-E-S-P-O-K-E, number 20 by Essence. It's my favorite. It's my favorite drugstore blush. Okay. Yep. That's why it's my favorite. Wipe down a little bit. Yeah. Perfect. Bespoke. Literally less than $7. So, for lips, I'm going to do something interesting. For lips, we're going to do something kind of interesting. We're going to take a Q-tip. You're going to cut it. You're going to cut it on this part, on an angle, okay? So that way you have a point, like that. Just an angled point. And then we're gonna take our Natural Nudes palette by Too Faced, and we're gonna go into the nude right here that we used in the crease. We're gonna scrape it a little bit. Not a lot. I'm gonna scrape a little bit. You can see maybe, if you look, you can see right here. Now we're gonna take MAC lip gloss. I'm gonna take this lip gloss, it's a cult classic. I'm gonna take a little bit, using the little part that you snipped and you scraped. You're gonna take a little bit of the gloss and you're gonna go into where you just scraped. And you're gonna go touch it, and it's gonna pull up the color. The gloss is gonna pull up the color. And then you're gonna take that little piece of gloss and shadow, and you're gonna now mix it on your hand. Okay? You're gonna get this color right here, literally Mocha Mousse. We're gonna put that on our lips, okay? Now, you're gonna take your liner. I'm gonna use Moonwalk by NYX. Moonwalk is like a gray nude, like a brownie gray nude. I'm gonna blot it a little bit. Okay. Okay, that's our color combination. That's Moonwalk with the nude eyeshadow and MAC lip gloss. And that, I think, is our first look. Let's see what we can come up with next. All right, so for this second look, we're gonna use Power Grip Matte Primer. Power Grip Matte Primer all over the face as well as on the eye. It's literally like glue. So just so you know, you can see, the good thing about this is it's gonna keep my makeup on all day. And this look that I'm doing for the second look is really an all-nighter. So like it's really for an event or for something where you wanna like have the makeup on for like 10 hours straight. I'm actually gonna put it on the eyes too. I know that's a little crazy, but let's see. We're gonna experiment. We're gonna take primer and we're gonna go all over the lid, up to the brow. And I'm even going on top of the brow because we want whatever shadow that we use, we want it to stay, right? You'll even see a video on TikTok where Manny, makeup artist, he actually stuck the box to his face and it actually does stick. That's how sticky it is, which is good because it's gonna lock the foundation. We're not being stingy on application. You actually wanna use quite a bit of it so that way your makeup stays on. Be careful getting it on lashes because it actually makes them stick together. This could literally be used also as a brow tamer. For those of you that have naturally dark brows and you don't need to fill them in, you can actually use this as a brow tamer. So primer's done. I'm actually going to use the same foundation I used yesterday for the first look. So we are going to put the foundation all over the face. As you can see, that is my perfect match. That is the 220 Superstay 30 Hour Lumi Matte Foundation by Maybelline. So for those of you that are light olive, it's a light olive color, which is very hard to find. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in with my concealer. I'm using a peachy tone. I'm going to use it right on my eyelid from the inner corner coming out. So because we put that primer, this should stick really well. You can see what I just did. Using some of the yellow tone. This is the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage, as I used in the first look. But this time I'm going on the eye. I'm going right here to the crease. Okay, blending it out with my finger. All right, there you go. We're gonna do the same thing with the other eye in a moment. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want a very clean outside line for when we do this black eyeshadow that I plan on doing. We're still going to do a Mocha Mousse look, but we're going to make it really intense smoke. Blending it out, tap, 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 tap. All right. Now we're going to take our translucent powder. I'm going to use the Duo Fiber stippling brush in 187. And just so you know, we're using the same translucent powder that I used in the first look. So for the next step, we're going to use the Pro Longwear Fluid Line by MAC. The name is Black Track. And this is going to go all over the lid. I'm going to take a little bit on a Q-tip. See how I dug it out a little bit? And I'm doing that so that I can save the eyeliner because you don't want it drying out. The last thing you want is for it to dry out, so you cap it right away. And we're going to take I'm going to put a piece of tissue down so that way I don't ruin anything under me. I'm going to take from that onto my concealer brush. And I'm going to go right onto the eye. Using the concealer brush. As you can see, it's very thick because it's supposed to be a liner. If you were to use the paint pots, they tend to be a little thinner. This one gets you that really dark black right away. And I'm going to be honest with you, the first person I learned this from was Candy Johnson back like 15, 16 years ago when she used to post on YouTube her tutorials. She still does every once in a while. I learned a lot from her before I worked for MAC. The first person I ever learned from was Kevin O'Quinn by reading his books. He was my idol when it came to makeup. I had Making Faces, which was like the first to like really be groundbreaking in the industry. So you see how it's not perfect yet, right? It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect yet. So we're going to take it and we're going to do the other side. I'm going to pull up a little more from the pot. I'm going to take more onto the Q-tip because I really want an intense. So notice how I went a little bit above my crease, okay? Not too much, just a little bit. And I'm going to clean my brushes right away because that stuff will dry and harden to like stone and it's going to ruin your brushes. So make sure you clean it. All right, so now I'm going to take this sparkling sable color and I'm going to use that in the crease. I'm going to use the pencil blender brush, number 219 in the set that I have. And I'm going right on top of the black and extending it out a little bit. Going right on top of the black. We're actually going to go into this V right here and wing it out. Blend it out, blend it out. I'm gonna go right on top of where the black is. So you're actually covering the black with this color, the sparkling sable. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the other side. Same thing. In this palette, what I want to do is take the gold and use the gold to pop out that color right there. But that's not going to go with the whole theme of Mocha Mousse. So to keep it Mocha Mousse, I'm actually going to use the nude. I'm going to take the nude with a small tapered blending brush. And I'm going to go right over the edge. So that way you have a nice transition. And do the same thing on the other side. Nice transition. Okay. I'm going to take the stiff brow brush, number 208, and I'm going to do what I did yesterday. I'm going to mix the cocoa with the truffle. So I'm mixing cocoa with truffle right here. So these two together. That's going to give me my brow color. We're going to fix that. Had a little fallout. And it's good. You can wipe it up. If you have makeup remover wipes, you can just wipe it up softly. You don't have to. It doesn't have to take off all your makeup. But I will go back over the makeup a little bit later to just perfect it. All right, I think that's done. You want to use a high pigment liner. So you can use a black coal liner. Where is this? Doesn't say. Oh yes, it does. I'm blind. It's the high pigment longwear liner in Via Veneto by NARS. I'm actually going to go into the waterline. Okay, just like that. I'm going to do the other side. The next step, we're going to take a small shader brush, this one right here, and I'm going to use cocoa on my lower lash line. So just over where I put, where it kind of spread a little bit, the black, we're going to use cocoa. So you're kind of blending into the black a little bit. You're also setting the liner using the cocoa. I'm going to do the other side. And we're going to take the liner and I'm going to clean up my left side a little bit. I'm going to actually go into, see how I went into the crease a little bit? Now I'm going to take the cocoa and I'm going to go over that on the edges to kind of smudge it into the shape. This side I have a kind of weird shape to my eye. It's a little different. So I'm actually going to take the cocoa and I'm going to move a little further that way. And I'm going to take the sparkling sable and I'm going to fix it a little bit. Okay. That works. So now we're going to clean up the mess. Any messes under the eye, you're going to use your makeup wipe. Even if you don't think you have fallout, you probably do. Very tiny little specks of black. So just clean it up. And I'm actually going to take, I used this earlier. When I used my moisturizer, I actually used the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Really good for under the eyes and areas that you're dry. It sinks right into the skin. It's really nice. So I'm going in with that. You can see this kind of moved a little bit. Okay, it's okay. Okay. I'm gonna take some more of the face base. Be careful to not get it into the smoky eye because it'll move. Done. Now, I'm gonna take my concealer, my Laura Mercier concealer in SC5, scrape a little of each color, and I'm gonna go back in and redo my concealer. All right. Tapping it out where I want thicker coverage. Now I'm going to take my translucent powder. I'm going to click, click, click. I'm pushing these bristles together so I can go under the eye. Softly put it under the eye. Just to set the concealer. Okay. Now we're going to take our Firework mascara, which I'm really very pleased with. I'm going to go all out and put the Swan color, this color right here. It's a matte ivory. I'm going to take that and put it on the inner corners and also under my brow. So I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Be very careful because if you go on the black part, like I just did, it actually makes it look dull. You don't want that. You want it to look really prominently black and brown. So I just went back over that a little bit. Okay, be very careful. Don't go onto the black. Okay, see how that just livened it up a little bit? I'm gonna take a little bit more of the ivory and I'm going to go under the brow. Just right there. That's it. Okay. Now my lips are getting really super dry like they usually do. So I'm taking the Bobbi Brown face base, enriched face base. I use it throughout the process because I just get super dry. And you can see I'm putting it on right over the makeup. It's fine. It's fine to do that. See, if you love the matte look, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit and use other products to counteract the matte. Wow, so I'm realizing that the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, when I put it all over the eye, it also got in my lashes. Don't do it on purpose, but if it does get in your lashes, it's actually helping it to stay up. So when you curl your lashes, you're actually pushing the lashes up and the Power Grip acts almost like a hairspray. So that's what I'm seeing is happening. I'm really excited about that. That's really cool. You see how they're staying up? That's amazing. I'm so excited. I can use the Power Grip on the lashes a little bit, and it works. So I only did one coat, and you can see they're staying up. They're lengthened, they're volumized. I don't think I really have to do another coat. I think that's enough. So now we know the step that was missing in the first look. Matte Power Grip Primer by e.l.f. It's only like $10, and it's keeping my eyebrows really in place too. I'd love to see how this looks like 10 hours from now. So for the blush, I'm actually going to use the nude as a blush. So I'm going to take my blush brush. I'm going to use an angled contour brush, and I'm going to push the bristles together tight like that, and I'm going to go into my palette. And I'm going to use the nude right here. Those of you that are like 4 or 5 shades darker than me, you can actually use the cocoa as a blush. But the nude, if you're close to my skin tone, that'll work. Or even lighter, you can use it lightly using a fan brush. But I'm gonna go in, tap it out. That works really well as a blush. That works really well as a blush. Okay. I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did yesterday, but this time is I'm scraping the nude with the back of my nail, then I'm taking the lip gloss. Same thing I did yesterday, using the Moonwalk by NYX. I'm using lip gloss to mix the nude on my hand. If you have lip lines like me, you can actually use Doo-Wop. They have an invisible lip liner. I'll put that in the description box. It's amazing for if you have lip lines and you don't want it to bleed. I just don't have it right now, but I used to use it all the time. Let's do that again. I'm going to take the nude. Gonna get my lip gloss. The reason why lip gloss is so sticky, it's very, very sticky gloss, it's probably the stickiest one I know, is so that it stays on. So if you want your lip gloss to stay on, you go for the sticky one. If you want it to be more moisturizing, you go for the oily one. Personally, love the super shiny lacquer of a sticky gloss. It just looks so much better. But some of you might be uncomfortable with that, so it might be better to go for an oilier one, which there's many on the market. Lip oils are your best bet if you want something that's more moisturizing. So that is our second look for the Pantone Mocha Mousse challenge. What's next? And now for the third look. 2025, color of the year. Today I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. It leaves a kind of dewy finish, which I like. Very slight though. So it's not matte, it's more of a natural finish. It has a very buttery consistency, so you'll see it comes out a little bit thick, but when you put it on, it's pretty natural. So this color is a little bit dark on me, so it's gonna give me a slight tan. It's like a half a shade darker than my skin tone, which is fine, because once you blend it out, it looks good. And I'm already covering everything for aesthetics purposes. I just feel like when you're doing shadows, they tend to make dark circles more prominent. So if I don't put foundation or concealer, you're just going to be staring at my dark circles. Maybe not, but just for my own peace of mind. I should have told you, I'm using shade 05A. So if any of you out there have similar coloring as me, it's 05A. Now you can see I didn't use the power grip that I used yesterday, the matte power grip. I'm actually going to use this on the eyes today. And I loved what it did to the lashes yesterday. So I'm going to lightly go into the lashes. It's supposed to go all over the face. So I would think also on the eyes. If you don't have it yet, you need to get it. It's really, really good. you can see just on my eyes right now, it looks like glue. So you gotta like kind of spread it out. Make sure that the texture, wherever you put it, is even. Okay, got it in my lashes a little bit, because when we do the lashes later, it's gonna stick them up. And the thing is that it's mattifying. It makes sense that it's absorbing the oils that are on your lashes, or when you curl your lashes, it's gonna curl really nicely. See, I'm just pushing them up with my finger so that I'm coating them a little bit. Take a tissue, wipe it off my hands. You do have to let it dry. This primer is pretty intense. And it's not marketed as an eye primer, but I'm seeing that it's working actually pretty well as an eye primer, because it does double duty for the lashes as well. We're going to use the same palette I've been using. We're going to use the Born This Way palette, the Natural Nudes by Too Faced. I'm going to start with Petal all over the eyelid. Petal is the pink one right in the middle. And I'm going in with a mini rounded slant brush. So that way we pack on this color. Okay. Just going all over the lid. And you can tell I'm not really keeping to a shape yet. A little bit. I'm staying like right at the crease, but I'm going all over the eyelid. There's a lot of pigment in this eyeshadow. I keep reiterating it because it is really nice. I like it. Now we're going to take the nude color right over here, this one right here, and this is going to go in the crease, going up to the brow right here. So it's almost going to be like a contour color. It's going to go in the crease, a little above the crease, and up into the brow, okay? So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm using a firm shader brush in 242. Looks like that. And I'm blending upward. Okay? Blending out here. You see how I blended, like right where my brow ends is where I kind of created like a shadow. And then you're gonna go right here and above. As the weather starts warming up, the looks are gonna get more peachy. And I feel like with this Mocha Mousse palette, the makeup is gonna get a little more glowy. So this shadow that I'm doing right now is gonna be like an everyday standard. It's like your perfect everyday Mocha Mousse going into spring and summer. So we're gonna take the nude again, and you're gonna go, you can see the difference between both sides. Okay, gonna start there, and you're gonna go up to the brow, and you're gonna come down here. Okay, blending up. So it's creating like a doe-eyed effect. All right, very summer in my opinion. Reminds me a lot of like the Giselle Bundchen eye makeup look she used to wear. I look nothing like her, but her makeup looks very similar to that. Very glowy, very summer, very tan. See, normally I would actually use a lighter shadow color for my brows, but because my brow hairs are a little darker, I would need like a brow gel. You know, like those mascara brow gels? I would actually need to use one of those, like a lighter one, in order to lighten the hairs, because if I use a lighter shadow, it's gonna show up that the hairs are not that color. So it's not gonna look right. So it actually looks better if I go a little darker with the shadows. I'm actually gonna use the same color I've been using for the last two looks. And I'm still deciding whether I wanna do a shimmer on under my brow or not. I don't think I want to. I think I wanna keep it flat, because sometimes the shimmer can like bring it out way too much, and it actually makes your brow bone jut out too much. I actually want to use the Swan, the ivory color, okay, right here. We're going to use that under the brow and on the inner corners of the eye. Very similar to what we did yesterday. It's just that the shadows are different and the placement is a little different. Okay, so I'm doing this ivory color first before I do my brows. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put translucent powder over my foundation. Probably why I look like I'm sweating. We're going to use the large powder brush. This is number 134. I'm going to click this together. That way I get some out. Once again, we're using the same translucent powder I used yesterday, and I believe the day before. That's better. You want to be careful with powder though, because it can accentuate lines and definitely can cause more dryness. So that's why I'm using the translucent and not a heavy coverage powder. So now we're going to go back to the ivory inside the inner corner of the eye. And this time we're going to go right onto the lid. So I'm not just doing the inner corner this time like I did yesterday. I'm going right onto the lid. So it's creating like a fade into the peach. Very pretty. Okay. Let's do the other side. Okay, I'm going to take a clean brush. Actually, I'm going to clean this brush a little bit. And I'm going to actually blend the peach color into the ivory a little bit. Okay, on the edges. See how that blended a little? The effect is very subtle. So now I'm going to take my brow brush, stiff brow brush number 208, and I'm taking the cocoa and the truffle. I love that fashion and makeup for this Mocha Mousse look and also for the trends. I love that the 90s is coming back big time. I mean, that nude lip that I used to adore. The Linda Evangelista look, the George Michael music video with like all the models. That's the type of look that is coming back now. Let's do the other side. Okay. I will change my eyebrows at some point, maybe, just for the fun of it. Go a little lighter. But I do love the dark eyebrow look. I always have. As long as it's thin. For me, that's just my personal preference. You can do it lighter. You can, a lot of times, lightening the eyebrows and doing a lighter brow makes the face look younger. So, as you can see, when I didn't have brows on, I did look a little younger, I think. Could be. I mean, something to think about. It's just something I have to get used to, because I love dark brows. Okay, so now, we're going to I'm taking the LA Girl Pro Setting Spray. This I got from 5 and Below. I think it was like $2.50 or something. And then I'm going to spray the brush. I'm going to wipe it on a tissue, and I'm going to use the truffle. It's a dark, dark brown. And I'm going to go right by the lash line. Coming out. And it creates like a creamy liner when you do that. And I'm hoping with the setting aspect of it, it'll stay on. So we're going to wing it out a little bit. Okay, so I did a little wing, but I'm not going to end there. I'm actually going to go over it with another shadow to blend. But right now, I'm going right by the lash line with the wet shadow. Wet truffle. So same thing on the other side. It's not gonna stay like that, don't worry. Spray the brush again. You can tell when it needs more spray because it does get dry after a little bit of using it. And you make a creamy little liner on the palette again. So now I'm gonna take this color, Sugared Chestnut, right here. It's like a glimmery brown. It kind of looks like Mocha Mousse a little bit. It's very similar to Mocha Mousse. It's just that it's got a frost to it. So we're gonna take that. I'm using this brush, the Pencil Blender in 219. Very good for blending. So we're gonna take, I'm gonna go right by the lash line again, going right over the line I just did. And this is actually blending the line so that it doesn't look so stark. And I'm going right into the wing. You can already see I'm getting fallout. It's okay, I'm gonna fix it. This is why people usually do the eyes first. I just don't like to. I'm stubborn like that. Okay, so we're gonna wipe that off. It's okay, we're gonna fix underneath again, like I did yesterday, using the foundation. I'm gonna actually go up to the crease with it, over the peach, because the shimmer makes it protrude a little bit. So it looks better when you do it that way anyway. So once again, we're gonna go by the lash line. And then, this is pretty easy actually. Very easy look. I'm gonna go onto the liner, onto the peach. Pretty. I just want to blend this out a little bit. Okay, good. Same thing with this side. Okay. Just so that it's even. Okay. All right. So we're almost done with this last look. It's very easy. The only thing I'm going to do to kind of make it a little different, I'm going to use a little bit of the Shimmering Pearl on the inner corner of the eye. This one. It's a gold. Okay. Using my finger to really get the pigment very strong. I'm going right on the inner corner of the eye. Into the lid a little bit. Okay. You can see what that did. Really created a nice shine. And I feel like that goes with the Mocha Mousse look really nicely. Because Mocha Mousse has a combination of red, yellow, and gray. If you really look at the color, you'll see it's red, yellow, and gray. I mean, of course, you can also get the same color using blue. I'm actually going to blend this out a little bit. Let me see. Let me use, okay, I'm going to use this brush. This is the Fluff Blending Brush. And we're blending out. Blending out. Okay. Fluff Blending Brush, blending out. So now I'm going to take the small shader brush I was using for just above the lashes, and I'm going to use it on the inner, not the waterline. I'm going to use it on the bottom of the eye. I'm going to actually use my wipe to get the color off, but now the brush is damp. So I'm going to use the damp brush, damp clean brush, so that way we can change the color. And we're going to use Sparkling Rum. Sparkling Rum, this color right here. That's going to really actually bring out the eye, in my opinion. So let's see how this goes. Let's go under the eye. I do like that. It's soft. It's like a soft plum. It goes with my hair color. Same thing, we're going to go on the other side. And if you really want to pop it out, you can use black on the waterline, but if you want it more soft and you want to just do your lashes, I would just do this color and then like call it a day. It makes it like you're wearing less makeup. Now I'm going to take the concealer that I normally use, the Laura Mercier, and I'm mixing two colors, the peach and the yellow. It really is like my favorite concealer, as you can tell. I use it enough. You can see the difference. It's like, look at that. My dark circle is gone, pretty much. Only this side is showing. Let's see. And a little goes a long way. You don't want to overdo it because it's easy to overdo. This concealer, as I've said before, it's like clay. So it's very easy to put on too much. I'm going to go in this palette. And for blush, I'm going to use the Warm Rose today. Yesterday, I used the Nude. Today, I'm going to use the Warm Rose. Warm Rose is this color right here. It's like a dull pink. I'm going to take my contour brush, angled contour brush, and I'm going to push it together so I can get the color in there. And I'm going to go right on my cheekbone. Blend it out. Okay. It looks good. I like that color. Warm Rose, huh? It's all about experimentation. I love trying new colors and thinking outside the box. Like, that's my specialty. Is like using things for other things that you normally wouldn't use the product for. I'm like really big on that. Little goes a long way with the shadow blush. Don't put too much. That's too much. That's too like splotchy. I'm going to actually even it out. Let me see. It's all about blending. Okay. That's not bad. All right. Now I'm going to fix under the eye because I see the sparkling rum got off a little bit. Let me see. This side. Okay. So now for lips. What should I use for lips? Should we do ivory on the lips? Should we attempt that? Yes, I think we should. So I'm going to take, we're going to be a little crazy again. Going to use a mix of ivory, half nude. I'm going to do something a little outside the box. I'm going to take some of the lip gloss, mix them together on my hand to get a really light flesh tone. See that color? That's Mocha Mousse. It really is. I love this color. It's like so monochromatic. And we're going to take our lip liner first. Oh, of course I fall out. Okay. Oh, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I love it. It's such a pretty color. So that's how you create Mocha Mousse from the Too Faced palette. You mix Swan and Nude together. And you can go a little darker if you're darker to get the color that you need. You can mix Cocoa and Nude, some of you that are darker, or you can mix even Truffle with Cocoa. And that is so pretty. Now we're going to take our mascara. I love this combination with the e.l.f. Look how they stand up. That's not just from the eyelash curler. Look at that. I love it. My eye is like tearing up a little bit, so I have to fix this one little area. Otherwise it's going to drive me bonkers. So I'm going to take the Shimmering Pearl and I'm going to go in right in that little area right there. Better. I'm using the same mascara I used yesterday, which is the Firework Mascara by Maybelline. Okay. All right, I think we are done. Mocha Mousse, we're ready for it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I look forward to the next time.